This kid, unbelievable.
Can you believe what's going on?
Now throws it deep downfield. Wide open Tyree, who makes the catch.
And Gray for the 4th time tonight.
We are kicking off our countdown with a guy you've probably never heard of.
Play fake again on first down. Gerback throwing for the end zone. Wants Sylvester Morris, right side. Touchdown! Kansas City! A 36-yard bomb to the cat. Sylvester Morris, your first NFL touchdown!
The Chiefs thought they'd found a star receiver and first-round pick Sylvester Morris. In just his 3rd game ever, the Jackson State standout went off for 3 touchdowns.
On a 1st and goal now, inside the 10-yard line. Gerback looking to throw it to the end zone. Morris is there. Touchdown. Oh, what a grab by Morris.
The cat in the house, going to the house for the 3rd time in this game.
But those were the only scores of his career. Morris played just that lone 2000 season in Kansas City before a rash of injuries halted his career. The 21st overall pick never had more than 6 catches in any other game. While many remember Malcolm Butler as the out-of-nowhere hero in Super Bowl 49, and rightfully so, that title could have easily gone to Chris Matthews.
The fake. Wilson, who's got a great arm, downfield, turning and making the catch. Twisting and turning is Chris Matthews.
That was the first catch of his career. Matthews followed it up with a game-time touchdown in the final seconds of the first half.
And he does, and it's caught! Touchdown, Chris Matthews.
The undrafted receiver from Kentucky set a career high with 109 yards, scoring one of his 2 career touchdowns. He played just 3 NFL seasons, but delivered his best performance on the biggest stage.
1st and 10 at his own 38 with eye backs this time. Lifts the tail of the eye. Play fake to him. Wilson going to throw deep down the far sideline. Matthews goes up again and makes a huge catch down the far side.
From one Super Bowl hero to another, we travel back almost 20 years for Larry Brown's MVP performance.
Hastings wide to the right. Out of the shotgun, O'Donnell on 3rd and 9. Here come the Cowboys. He throws downfield. Intercepted by Larry Brown to the 50, to the 40, down to the 30. High steps, still on his feet to the 20 with a helicopter move. And he goes out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
While Brown was a 5-year starter at corner for the Cowboys, he's best known for his timely picks that helped seal a Dallas dynasty in Super Bowl 30.
And 7 defensive backs. Blitz on O'Donnell. Intercepted, and Larry Brown has a shot at a touchdown. Brown knocked out of bounds.
Brown would go on to sign a big-time free agent deal with the Raiders a few months later, but never came close to the spotlight again. He finished his career with just 1 more interception in his final 3 seasons after leaving Dallas. The Steelers have had a long line of legendary receivers, but this unheralded pass catcher turned in one of the greatest single-game performances in team history.
Roethlisberger, who has not been sacked so far, again buys time. He's got Weaton open, and he's got the catch at the 15. Looking around and launching for Weaton. Weaton has it, and he breaks away for the touchdown.
Marcus Weaton became one of just 6 Pittsburgh receivers ever with 200 receiving yards in a game. It was his only career game with more than 7 catches, and Weaton had just 377 total receiving yards after that contest. Falcons wideout Quinton McCord had 427 career receiving yards in 25 games. 182 of them came in this one against the Lions in 2002.
2nd down and going to the end zone, and this pass is caught. Touchdown to Quinton McCord. Only 1 reception on the year coming into this game. Quinton McCord with a 20-yard grab and a touchdown.
Replacing an injured Sean Jefferson, McCord helped Michael Vick reach a career high in passing yards in a pivotal game during Atlanta's playoff push. The 7th-round pick recorded just 12 career catches after that game. Speaking of seventh-rounders, ever heard of Jeff Janice? We guarantee you Packer fans remember him fondly. The little-known receiver from Saginaw Valley State had 4 career catches going into the 2015 NFC Divisional Round. But with the clock ticking down on Green Bay's season, Aaron Rodgers' prayers were answered.
End of the game here if they don't get 20 yards. Here goes Rodgers again, all the way downfield, and it's going to be caught by Janice at the 35-yard line. He resets Starks. They are going to bring pressure again. Rodgers is going to roll away, throws it up in the air, says a prayer, and Janice does he
stop it!
Oh, please!
What a catch!
That's insane!
Janice totaled 101 receiving yards on that final drive. Yeah, you heard that right. This was his only game with more than 5 catches, and although the Packers fell short that night, Janice became a one-game legend. When we talk about Browns running backs, who comes to mind? Of course, there's Jim Brown, Leroy Kelly's a Hall of Famer, and today it's Nick Chubb. But only the hardcore fans can tell you about Jerome Harrison. The former 5th-round pick had 749 total rushing yards in 43 games, entering Week 15 of the 2009 season.
It will be Jerome Harrison starting the game at tailback. Vickers the fullback, Cripps wide right.
Cleveland went into that contest at just 2-11, while Kansas City was a putrid 3-10. Not exactly a heavyweight fight here, but nonetheless, a one-game wonder was born.
Give is to Harrison again, and Harrison emerging through the hole. Jerome Harrison, goodbye. Harrison takes it the distance. Touchdown, Browns.
With their season lost, the Browns gave Harrison a whopping 34 carries at Arrowhead. The 5'9" back cut through the Chiefs' defense all day long, shattering Jim Brown's 52-year-old team record for rushing yards in a game.
Defense is with his legs. First and goal from the gate. Give is to Harrison with a head of steam. Harrison is in. And Jerome Harrison has 286 yards rushing.
Harrison finished with a stat line that any running back would dream of, 298 yards from scrimmage and 3 touchdowns. While he followed that up with 2 more 100-yard games to finish out the 2009 season, Harrison was again relegated to backup duties over the next 2 years. He rushed for only 371 total yards over his final 16 games.
The game and Dallas's destiny was in the hands of Clint Longley.
If there's ever an incredible NFL example of 15 minutes of fame, it's Clint Longley's.
Let's back up for a moment. Dallas versus Washington on Thanksgiving Day, 1974. Roger Staubach had been knocked out of the game, leaving the Cowboys to send out backup Clint Longley for his first ever NFL appearance.
Didn't even have time to pinch myself. You just go on in there and start throwing.
And this little-known quarterback started throwing bombs.
And I think basically it was throw it deep and hope.
Roger back to throw across the middle. Pearson wide open, touchdown.
Longley threw for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the final quarter and a half, leading a 13-point comeback win. The unknown passer would suit up just 5 more times for the Cowboys before a costly mistake sent his career into a downward spiral.
We got a little skirmish after practice one day, and a few days later he did something to me. He hit me from behind. And as a competitor, I wanted to get him. I wanted to go after him.
And next thing you know, they trade him away to San Diego. So that was his moment in the sun.
Ah, yes, the Ogletree game. Undrafted Cowboys receiver Kevin Ogletree never had more than 50 receiving yards in a game through his first 3 seasons, nor had he ever reached the end zone. But all of that changed in the 2012 season opener.
Murray going out to the left. Romo flushed out of the pocket. Romo throwing on the run, wide open and making the catch. Ogletree, touchdown Cowboys.
Means he's going to the alternative play.
Gets it off just before the play clock expires, and then open is Ogletree. Touchdown Dallas. The second for Ogletree.
Ogletree had 8 catches for 114 yards and 2 scores, career highs in all. He helped Dallas defeat the defending champs with this game-clinching catch.
And Romo throws, and that is caught, and that's Ogletree.
Okay, this one's a deep cut. Raise your hand if you've heard of Lesean Johnson. He had just 101 career rushing yards entering this 1996 game against the Saints.
Who discovered this man, Lesean Johnson, cuts it back, great move! Lesean Johnson breaks open and he may be gone! Touchdown! Wow! And Lesean Johnson, more holes up the middle. Lesean Johnson breaks another tackle and he's gone again! Lesean Johnson, 70 yards for the touchdown!
Johnson racked up 214 yards on the ground, scoring his first 2 career touchdowns. He actually led Arizona in rushing in '96, but that was it. Just 3 total touchdowns in 37 more games. Who says a meaningless game can't change your life? Matt Flynn will tell you otherwise after his otherworldly performance in Week 17 of the 2011 season.
Back-to-back possessions. They've been first and goal. And Nelson finds the end zone.
With Green Bay's 1 seed already locked, Flynn replaced Aaron Rodgers and put on a show in just his second career start. 31 of 44, 480 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
There'll be another penalty against the Lions and a free play. Why not put it up there for Nelson? He caught it! And a touchdown! Play action and Flynn looking to Nelson down the field and he's got it, another touchdown! From Flynn to Jordy Nelson.
He set a Packers record for single-game passing yards and touchdowns that day. And to cap it all off, he led a 45-41 Packers victory.
Donald, a driver to the end zone.
Field with Finley right here.
And they found it.
What did this all lead to, you ask? Well, Seattle pounced in free agency, signing Flynn to a 3-year, $19.5 million deal, but he never started a single game with the Seahawks, getting beat out by rookie Russell Wilson. Flynn would eventually return to Green Bay in 2013, starting a handful of games, but that 2011 finale was his peak.
What a spectacular performance by the Patriots on the ground. Jonas Gray in particular with 4 touchdowns.
I couldn't be happier for this young man.
Perhaps the most accurate example of a one-game wonder, the story of Jonas Gray is downright unbelievable. Undrafted out of Notre Dame, the running back had stints with the Dolphins and Ravens, but never saw game action until the 2014 season in New England. Gray had 32 total carries in 3 games leading into this Week 11 primetime matchup. So what happened next? Roll the tape.
From the 4, second and goal. On the ground and trying to get his way into the end zone and does for the touchdown is Jonas Gray.
Took a blow.
Hit the marker as well. Look at this now as Gray on 3rd and inches takes off and gets to the 50-yard line. And here he goes again with a little shift to the left and into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown.
These guys.
Looking for his 3rd touchdown of the night, and he has it. 3 times into the end zone.
37 carries for 201 yards and 4 touchdowns, which set a new franchise record. Not bad for a guy who barely made the team. Gray even landed the cover of Sports Illustrated with a shocking performance.
Bill Belichick is a hard guy to earn his trust. And tonight, he proved Bill Belichick right by inserting him and constantly running the football against the Indianapolis Colts.
But just like that, it was over. In a strange turn of events, the following week would signal the end of his NFL story. New England signed LeGarrette Blount a few days later, then Gray missed a Friday practice, which may have led to his benching in the next game.
I don't even know if Jonas Gray will suit up this week. Because he missed
practice,
sent him home. So they signed LeGarrette Blount, right?
Gray played sparingly, earning a measly 20 carries the rest of the season. He was a healthy scratch when the Pats won Super Bowl 49 and was cut just before the 2015 season. Our number 2 selection produced arguably the greatest play in NFL history and vanished seemingly overnight. Yes, David Tyree and his helmet catch are cemented in pro football lore, but who was this unheralded Super Bowl legend?
And he takes it waist high, sets it and hits it high, near sideline. Jones watches it bounce at midfield. He picks it up off one bounce, runs out of a Tyree tackle, runs out of another tackle, and then Tyree goes back and gets him at the 45-yard line.
The 6th round pick in 2003 was a special teams mainstay throughout his Giants career. Receiving opportunities came few and far between as Tyree entered Super Bowl 42 with just 650 yards in 5 seasons. Not to mention only 5 total catches in all of 2007, including the NFC playoffs. Yet, with a Lombardi trophy on the line, this little-known wideout scored his 5th ever touchdown.
Play action, over the middle, touchdown Giants, David Tyree.
And later in the game, with the G-men on the ropes, Tyree did the improbable.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge, Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the field, it is caught by Tyree.
That clutch catch set up the game-winning score, and with that, the greatest upset in modern NFL history. As for what followed, well, Tyree suffered a season-ending knee injury before the 2008 season and was later cut by New York in 2009. He never caught another pass. How about another trio of Super Bowl standouts who made their names on the biggest stage? Percy Howard's 34-yard touchdown in Super Bowl X brought the Cowboys within 1 score late in the 4th quarter.
Touchdown, Dallas. I guess he didn't call it either. Percy Howard, Mel Blunt got tangled up with Howard, and the Cowboys aren't out of it yet.
But did you know that was the only catch of his entire career? Howard played just that one season in 1975.
The gun. Almost, yes he is. He's picked off. What a catch by Eley, who's still on his feet. And look at Eley. Pressure on Manning, and it's Eley who gets to him for his 2nd sack of the game. 3rd and 14. Ball's out of his hand. Again, it was Eley who's had an active game.
Who can recall Cony Elely in Super Bowl 50? While Carolina fell short that night, Eley's stat line was incredible. 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and an interception on one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. This has to be one of the most overlooked performances in history, and it was the only game Eley ever registered multiple sacks.
From the 10, probably the final play of the game. In regulation. It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he cannot. Mike Jones made the tackle.
Yes, linebacker Mike Jones had a long and productive NFL career. So while he's not a true one-game wonder by definition, can you think of any other play than his game-saving tackle in Super Bowl 34? It's enough for a shout-out.
Timmy Smith, you're talking about a one-game wonder. I don't think I've laid eyes on him since that day.
It's a lock when your own teammate calls you the greatest one-game wonder in NFL history. Washington rookie running back Timmy Smith turned in one of the greatest Super Bowl performances ever, and he had no idea he'd be starting the game.
He told me that I'm going to start Timmy Smith. I looked at him, I said, Timmy Smith? He said, yeah. He said, nah, nobody knows it. I said, but I'm telling you.
I didn't have any clue that Timmy Smith was going to start until he showed up in the huddle the first series.
Smith's first start ever came that night. All he did next was set a still-standing Super Bowl record for rushing yards.
And bursting through the middle, Smith.
Some props if you plug in there. What kind of percentage he's got?
He's thrown for 210 yards, and Smith wide open. 40. 30, inside the 20, Timmy Smith going down the sideline. Timmy Smith is in there.
The fifth-round pick had just 126 rushing yards in 1987, but started coming along during Washington's playoff run. A pair of solid outings sold Coach Joe Gibbs, and the decision paid off big time.
2nd and 9, Washington from their own 22-yard line. Smith, another big burst, 40 and 50, 1st and 10. Breaks another one inside the 30, the 20. Timmy Smith to the 10-yard line. And it figures. Timmy Smith for the touchdown. You deserve it, Timmy.
The rookie carried the ball 22 times for 204 yards and 2 scores, while the game MVP went to Doug Williams. Smith and the Hogs helped blow the game wide open.
Will be the single game rushing leader in Super Bowl history.
That's got to do it.
After that incredible performance, Smith entered the '88 season as Washington's starting running back, but his inconsistent play led to losing that role as he rushed for just 470 yards that year. Smith later signed with the Chargers and Cowboys, getting cut after brief stints. Ladies and gentlemen, Smith, your biggest one-game wonder in NFL history.